12 things that could destroy the Earth.
Time and again, Earth has faced scenarios pushing us to the brink of our existence. Whether it's a giant asteroid that's slammed into us or an invisible virus creating a worldwide pandemic.
I got actually like way too much satisfaction from seeing London get blown up like that.
Danger is ever present. But despite these interferences, humanity has always figured out how to claw our way back. But for how long? Will one of these 12 scenarios end life on our blue marble forever? And how likely are they to happen?
Wait, you're hoping for zombies? It depends what type of zombies. Was it DayZ? Yeah, not those kind. But Walking Dead zombies, I actually think I'd be fine.
Number 12. World War III breaks out.
Oh, topical.
Bombs, shelters, rations. The last time we had a world war was in 1939. Are we on the brink of another one?
I'll say we're pretty
With
close.
global tensions rising and battles erupting all around the world, the possibility of a world war becomes greater and greater every year. Regardless of how things escalate, this war would be unlike anything else we've experienced.
Well, I don't think it would look like that.
Advanced military technologies, the fight for natural resources, and nukes would all be possibilities. The battlegrounds could be the United States, Russia, or potentially Taiwan. So if World War III were to happen, how would you survive? If you're not up for an armed resistance, you'd better get out of the big cities, which are often targets.
Oh, I'm fine. I live in a small village.
Head for rural areas, make a survival kit, and just maybe start thinking now about a move to a safe haven. Very far north or very far south? Will it be Greenland, New Zealand, or Antarctica?
Do you know, nothing winds me up
Of
more
course,
than Greenland
all this is
being
assuming
icy
a
and
world
Iceland
war
being
with
green.
conventional weapons, but what if there's something much worse? But before we get to that, let me show you something that the What If team has been using these days. Something we're super excited to tell you about.
Oh, yeah?
It's a
Do you know, I've actually never seen the What If guy. Actually, his face. Exactly. Slow zombie, good. Fast zombie, definitely not. No, do not want that, right?
opera is the tab island.
Yeah, all right.
On the
Okay,
subject. It's a built
okay.
lucid mode.
Okay.
If you want to browse the internet,
Yep.
it's totally an all-out nuclear apocalypse.
Oh, well, there's a positive skip.
A regional nuclear war would kill millions, but it wouldn't end the world. Pull a couple of heavy hitters into the ring, like the US and Russia, and all bets are off. A 300-kiloton bomb explosion will vaporize anything, people included. But this is just the start. If multiple nukes went off, every explosion would create a giant fireball as hot as the sun's core.
See, that's crazy. We
Think
have
that's
the
bad?
ability to do
It gets
that.
worse. The dense black carbon smoke would spread across the northern hemisphere, freezing the Earth and causing a nuclear winter for up to 10 years. 99% of the population of the US, Europe, Russia, and China could starve to death.
See, I actually watched a video that like disproved that. Like it, people have like it's a guy on YouTube. I actually have to watch one of his videos on it at one point because he breaks it down and he's like really good with it. And apparently, don't get me wrong, deadly, but they're not as bad. Like they are not as bad as you would think. Terrible, but not as bad. Like I don't think there would be a massive doomsday thing like that. You would just have a lot of destruction on where they impacted.
Assuming you survive the blast, seek shelter immediately. For the week or two after, you'll want to hunker down indoors to avoid radioactive fallout. Hiding inside the thickest concrete or underground might protect you from the radiation, but how would you escape the harsh nuclear winter? New Zealand, anyone?
I would love to.
If human beings don't end up killing each other on Earth, well, there could be another thing that does. Number 10, alien invasion. Yeah, I'm talking about aliens, and not because they want to enslave us like we see in the movies. What if it's because they're hungry for that one thing that even we can't get enough of? Before I tell you what that is, do aliens even exist? Well, the Drake equation estimates that there's a 53 to 99.6% chance that we're the only intelligent life in the Milky Way. So
I don't believe that in the slightest. I mean, look at the size of the universe, right? There is no shot. There is just absolutely no shot. Whether we ever see them, that's something you can debate. But there is no way that we are the only intelligent life. Like, there is just so much stuff out there that we just do not know about. To say that there's a 53% to, like, what is it, 96%? That's crazy. There's no way. Like, there's even, like, with even the Milky Way galaxy, right? Like, there's so much more to see that we don't know. I don't know. I've never been more convinced that there is. I'm just, the debate for me is whether we will actually see them. I agree, Sid. I agree. There's probably more than we even could predict on the top end. Exactly. There's definitely an alien. It was like, well, actually, I don't think there's any other aliens. And I hate that guy too.
if aliens are out there, how would they even get to Earth? Maybe they'd use a futuristic spacecraft or travel via wormhole. And maybe they'd pop by because they're hungry. For energy.
That's a banger movie.
A Type 2 alien civilization could potentially have a Dyson sphere, a ball that orbits their planet, harvesting solar energy and looking for new sources. Like our sun? Yikes. And if our sun goes, well, you can say goodbye to virtually all life on Earth.
Yeah, I don't think that ends well.
Humans would freeze to death. Our crops would cease to exist, and our once blue marble would become a barren wasteland. Okay.
Do you know, there's also the other equation of that is we say that there's a chance that there's no other intelligent life. What if they deem us to not be intelligent life? Do you know what I mean? Like, they're in such a different wave of intelligence that we are deemed like single-cell organisms in comparison. Do you know what I mean? Like, because we could probably go, oh yeah, but there's probably single-cell organisms out there. Didn't they find some on Mars? Am I imagining that? But like, what if there's like aliens? They've looked at it and they go, oh, Jesus, that's a scary place. Won't go there. Exactly. We could just be specks to them. So in their eyes, there is no other intelligent life to them because the only thing that came close is so far removed from it. Exactly, Izzy. Yeah, what we do to this planet, I can't imagine. It's almost like throwing bombs inside your own house and then crying how the house gets cold in the winter. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Okay, maybe a little unrealistic. Let's move on to something a little more likely. Number 9, asteroid hitting Earth.
This one actually freaks me out.
A massive 96-kilometer wide asteroid would finish us all off.
There's actually so many that nearly hit
down
us.
To 12 kilometers wide, and it might leave a few of us standing. It would still be horrific. The site of the impact would get very, very hot. Tsunamis would rise from the oceans. Billions of us would die. The impact would spawn an enormous dust plume engulfing the globe. It would block out the sun, and a deep freeze would set in for thousands, even millions of years. Now, chances are small, but if it happens, what should you do?
I don't think there's a lot to do if there's a massive asteroid that hits the Earth. There's not a great deal of opportunity to survive that, I don't think.
Scientists tell us an underground bunker would be the best option. Now, if you can't swing that, well, at least stay away from the impact zone and clear of coastal areas with tsunamis. But sooner or later, you're gonna freeze to death.
Yeah.
Or things could get really, really hot. Number 8, supervolcano. Just like a super large asteroid could take us out, so could a supervolcano. 200 million years ago, Earth was hit by a supervolcano. which wiped out 75% of the species on Earth. It was so strong it ripped apart North America from
That's
Africa
crazy.
and plonked the Atlantic Ocean bang in the middle.
The Americans in chat, Yellowstone is technically an active one, right? And that would be a supervolcano, if I'm correct. I don't know.
And did it stop with just one massive eruption? Yeah, sorry, that's a no. For 600,000 years, the Central Atlantic Magmatic Province, or CAMP, erupted again and again. Lava covered everything. Volcanic ash rained down. But you won't believe the thing that got us. It was pollution. CO2 and carbon levels skyrocketed.
Oh, it's a good job we've learned from that
Environmental
mistake.
destruction. So, is there a massive eruption waiting to happen today? Well, below the surface of Yellowstone Park sits a giant caldera. We don't think it'll erupt anytime soon, but in the distant future, it might. If it does erupt, well, expect a repeat of what happened 200 million years ago. Luckily, geologists are monitoring Earth for seismic activity. But can anyone save us from a zombie apocalypse?
Yeah, me. I'll do it. I'll do it. Do you guys ever have this, or is this just like a massive like overconfidence thing? But you know, you got like that one guy that's like immune, and then you end up by proxy being the guy that saves the world. Do any of you have that feeling? Like for some reason that'll be you, or is that just a me thing? I have no proof of this. I get ill more than most people I know. But for some reason, I feel like if a zombie apocalypse came and there was a virus, I would somehow be miraculously immune, and I would be king.
Number 7, zombie apocalypse. The cordyceps fungus creates zombified ants.
These are freaky. This
growing
Last of
around
Us.
their brains and taking over their nervous system. Could this jump over to humans and create a bona fide human zombie? Well, scientists suggest that our body temperature is simply too high for the fungus to survive, but
Yeah, but like our body temperature's too high. I've read this, and I know it, but it's kind of crazy. They're quite adaptable things, fungi, right? The planet's getting a little bit warmer, right? What if they adapt to be able to exist in a warmer climate? So by proxy, the host that they could inhabit got a little bit, there was a wider option, including humans. Oh, do you know the worst part about The Last of Us zombies? I don't know if you've seen that show or know about it. Is they're aware, apparently. Like, the fungus takes over, but they're still in there, apparently. I read that fact. I think one of the developers, like, said it. So when you see those zombies, like, eating people and everything like that, they are still in there. It's just, like, locked-in syndrome, and they just have to watch the horrible acts that they're performing. So gross.
what if this fungus somehow did take over our systems? Big cities like New York, London, and Hong Kong would be the first major targets of an event like this. And due to the cordyceps spreading via spores, it would be incredibly difficult
it was
to
grain and
avoid
flour
getting infected.
in the games that it
The
spread, right?
zombies would slowly take over major metropolitan
Shaun of the
areas.
Dead.
If you live in more rural areas of the world, you'd likely be safe. For now.
If you haven't seen that movie, highly
Number
recommend.
6, another pandemic. Yeah, that's right, another pandemic. If you're watching this, you were lucky enough to survive the COVID-19 pandemic, but will you survive the next one? Our world is changing, and for the worse. In the next few decades, the probability of a novel disease outbreak will grow 3 times due to population growth, changes in our food systems, and closer contact between humans and animals.
Well, it's kind of like the trade-off of like mass globalization, right? Is you are by proxy having a more effective worldwide spreading system, right? We're almost like they talk about how the Last of Us zombies spread with like pores, right? You know, spores. Sorry. We effectively become those spores, right? Like we're flying everywhere across the world. Everybody's so interconnected now. So by proxy, we've become those little spores that if there was a virus, we would spread it quite quickly.
Scientists predict another pandemic will hit us within the next 59 years. And
59
a
years?
new virus could be a more dangerous killer. It might mutate faster, or we might not make a vaccine for it as quickly as we did with COVID. Instead of 7 million people who died from the virus, it could be tens of millions.
I just tried to work out if I would be alive to experience that. And in every case, these estimates, I've normally worked out that average life expectancy, I would be alive. But I've just realized 59 years, I'm probably dead. And now I feel really, really old.
During the COVID pandemic, a bit of bioengineering went a long way in creating mRNA vaccines that saved our lives. But can the same synthetic biology that saved our lives kill us off too?
It's kind of the future of most vaccines, right?
Synthetic biology. In a secret lab somewhere, could someone create a virus or super bacteria that will wipe out the human race?
I think someone already has one.
Imagine a super virus that spreads silently. It leaves its victims asymptomatic for weeks, only to turn deadly after that prolonged gestation. Due to how much the world travels and how much smaller everything has become, well, the virus can spread more quickly and reach more people. Now, that is something that could wipe out humanity. Unless you're just someone who never sees people, then maybe you'll be safe. But if the virus doesn't get you, I bet the next apocalyptic scenario will.
Can't see it. Don't know what it is. I'll survive it.
Number 4, catastrophic climate change.
Okay, no, it won't.
What if the average temperature rose 4 degrees Celsius? Well, it doesn't sound like a huge deal, but a 4
Wait, you think it'll be sooner than 59 years? I mean, what was the last major one before COVID? Was it the Spanish, was it influenza? I mean, that was like 100 years before, right?
degrees Celsius rise in temperature would destroy life on Earth as we know it. Sea levels would rise by a half meter to a full meter, and maybe even more by the year 2100. Cities like New York, London, and Venice would see extreme flooding. Food production would go haywire. We'd see heat waves in the tropics and frequent high-intensity tropical cyclones. Our coral reefs would be destroyed.
They're already dying, right?
That's not the end. The water would keep rising in the coming centuries. In a world like this, humanity might not go extinct, but Earth
Good luck, Sid. Hope it goes well.
would only be able to support just 1 billion people. Let's hope you're one of the lucky few. Okay, that sounds bad, but what happens if it suddenly gets harder to breathe? Number 3.
Well, I have asthma
oceanic
anyway, so
anoxia.
that'll cook me.
Ocean oxygen concentrations are declining today.
I did not know
Are
that.
we in danger of an oceanic anoxia event? After all, it did happen 450 million years ago. A drop in oxygen levels persisted for 3 million years, and 85% of marine species vanished. Now,
What?
if phytoplankton were part of the vanishing marine species, well, the ocean's ability to remove carbon dioxide would be compromised, driving our climate crisis into overdrive. Plus, atmospheric oxygen would go down. Now, thankfully, a full-scale oceanic anoxic event would take thousands of years to develop. So, for the moment, take a deep breath.
So
While
we're
you
fine.
can.
No guarantees
Number 2,
about any
ecological
future
collapse.
generations.
Okay, so maybe we'll still have oxygen to breathe, but are we on the brink of a major ecosystem collapse? It happened over 250 million years ago during the Permian-Triassic period. Healthy ecosystems thrive on a set of balanced interactions between animals and plants, predators and prey.
I think we might
Every
upset that
species
balance.
has a critical role to play. If all the species playing a particular role within the ecosystem disappear, well, that means the first domino has fallen, and the collapse of our world is imminent. A startling loss of biodiversity like we're witnessing today is the beginning of the end. Just imagine if we lost all the bees, our best pollinators.
Right, okay, I might be showing some ignorance here, and I'm not doubting the validity of that, but I feel like I've been hearing that bees have been going extinct since I was like 5. And I still see them, and I have a phobia of wasps and bees, so I'm pretty hyper aware of those things, and there still seems to be quite a few. I'm being ignorant, I'm not denying it, but there seems to be quite a few, and I've been hearing it for the last 23 years. I don't know.
We have to say goodbye to much of our fruit, and humans would be far less healthy. Yeah, robotic bees, anyone? Yeah, speaking of robots, well, here's the thing that's most likely to kill us all off.
AI!
Number 1, killer robots. You know, even the deadliest effects of large-scale global warming are a few years away. But AI that can kill us? It's here. In a world where AI gets smarter than us, humans can be enslaved by the very intelligence we've created. Or wiped out by one programmed to kill us. Yeah, we're speeding toward the dangerous point of singularity, where AI takes over human intelligence.
Do you know what? That's the thing that gets me with AI is, like, there's that big push for, was it AGI? Was it artificial generic intelligence? Basically something that isn't just programmed for one task or taught in one thing. It can actually, like a human, do another task, learn it, and then improve itself over time. And then, was it the NVIDIA CEO? I don't know, I haven't fact-checked this, but I swear I read that they said that they'd achieved it. Right? How many doomsday movies have there been about AI growing, forming the ability to improve itself and then wiping out the human race? Like Terminator and like all of the rest. Like why does that seem like a good idea?
Yeah, let's just hope our new robot overlords are willing to play nice. But if they're not, I have an idea. What if, instead of humanity getting wiped out, we progressed into a hyper-advanced civilization? Well,
I don't know about that.
Like a story for another what if.
Hey, that's a WCGS video. It's teasing me. It makes me want to do it. So there's not enough bees? Their existence is constantly under threat? Really? Again, I don't doubt it. I don't know enough about bees, but I just tend to see them, and I know that's a very anecdotal thing. But yeah, I saw that boat and hose. The guy at the NVIDIA said that it's already here. So we technically already have a self-learning machine. So that one to me is the most likely. It will either do one of two things. Like, it'll be doomsday, or it'll actually pity us. But then if I go from pure, like, human logic, when it comes to a species that you deem inferior, or something that you deem inferior from human history, I can't imagine something that is so much more intelligent, so much more efficient at inventions and qualities of life, and I don't know. I don't see how that ever ends up in a world where we don't become, in best case scenario, pets, almost like they're dogs. You know what I mean? Like, I don't see how it doesn't end up that way in a positive case, or we're just killed. Like, I feel like if you ask an AI and you don't program anything else, hey, solve climate change, I think it might just wipe us all out. Because logically, I think that solves the issue. You know what I mean? But no, that was a fun one. That was a fun one. I enjoyed that. Leave a comment. What was the scariest one you think was in that video? I'll see you for the next one.